I'm Griha Atul and welcome to this very special broadcast. Tamil Nadu has always blurred the line between stardom and statesmanship. And today we bring you its newest crossover story.
At this moment, I want to open my heart and say, I enjoy people. I respect people. I worship people.
A superstar who ruled the box office for over 2 decades. The dialogues he doled out echoed through theatres like a war cry. There are many a heroes, but few become a phenomenon. Vijay, son of veteran director S.A. Chandrasekhar. One who rose from the 1990s as a romantic lead to become Tamil Nadu's most bankable superstar. Thalapathy, the commander.
But in 2025, Vijay sought a new kind of stage. One not built on scripts and spotlights, but on strategy, sweat and struggle. After months of speculation, fan petitions, political whispers and countless headlines, Vijay finally said the words his fans had been waiting for. He was entering politics.
Look, Vijay promised to be a kind of an alternative. He said his ideological opponent is the BJP and his political opponent is the DMK. So that is how he came.
The star who fought corruption, challenged injustice and always stood with the common man on reel was now seeking a new kind of stage. One not built on scripts and spotlights, but on strategy, sweat and struggle.
Vijay had finally crossed the cinematic threshold, from the silver screen to the political stage. His rallies, called Saturday Sabhas, drew thousands, becoming part concert, part civic awakening. But then, tragedy struck, and his first act met a devastating intermission.
It was meant to be a day of celebration. The latest of Vijay's weekly meetings with the people. The venue, Karur, a bustling district in central Tamil Nadu. But the crowd was larger than expected. The arrangements stretched beyond capacity.
One of the reasons for the Karur tragedy is also the kind of, enormous crowds that he was able to pull in.
Eyewitnesses say a sudden power cut triggered panic. The surge that followed crushed dozens in seconds. 41 people, including children, lost their lives.
When the stampede happened in Karur, the way he responded to it spoke of a singular lack of leadership. That till date today, and this is now almost 17, 18 days after the tragedy, the man has not visited Karur, has not spent time with the families.
Shock turned to sorrow, sorrow turned to blame. The DMK government called it mismanagement by TVK organizers.
My deepest condolences to those who lost their loved ones. I wish those who are undergoing treatment recover at the earliest.
Very clearly, the local administration, the state government is at fault. Mr. Vijay has got every right to come anywhere. It's a political leader, he can come.
The BJP defended Vijay, blaming local authorities for the failure in crowd control. Vijay announced compensation for every family affected, and a judicial inquiry was ordered. But beyond the political noise, one question lingered. Would this tragedy define Vijay's political career before it even began? Is this a premature intermission in Vijay's political script, or just a tough first act?
To answer that, we must look beyond Karur. Because in Tamil Nadu and across southern India, cinema and politics have always been two sides of the same coin.
Long before Vijay, Tamil Nadu witnessed the rise of a cinematic revolution, where the movie screen wasn't just entertainment. It was education, ideology, and identity. It began with the Dravidian movement in the 1950s, when cinema became the stage for social change. Songs carried political messages, heroes embodied ideals, and movie halls became temples of ideology. The story of stardom in Indian politics truly begins here, with M.G. Ramachandran, or MGR. He wasn't the first actor to join politics, but he was the first to redefine it.
MGR is a phenomenon that cannot be compared to any other film star in South India.
On screen, he was the savior of the poor, the man who stood between the people and their oppressors.
He was never a villain. He was, almost always he was the do-gooder. And it was a lot of his movies had a lot of political dialogues in them.
Off screen, he turned that cinematic image into a social movement.
He began as an activist as much as he began as an actor. He was not just an actor who went on to become a superstar, he was also a social and political activist.
Trained in the Dravidian theatre movement, MGR used cinema as propaganda for social change. But when he broke away from the DMK and founded the AIADMK, his film persona became his political brand.
There was this combination of the movie magic plus the political messaging that Mr. MGR had been giving. So when the quarrel happened between him and Mr. Karunanidhi in the DMK and Mr. MGR came out to form the AIDMK, his fan clubs were actually a rock solid support base for the DMK. So he took that entire fan club with him.
He promised food, equality, dignity, and delivered populism with the flourish of a film hero.
What sustained him in his seat of power was not just the love of the people, but also the activities that he undertook, or the welfare activities that he undertook for the people. So, up to a point, yes, it was all about love. Thereafter, it was work.
His midday meal scheme fed millions of children, a policy born from the empathy his screen roles had already symbolized. MGR blurred the line between myth and man. He didn't act as the people's protector, he became it.
Once he became the chief minister, he could never be beaten. He won in 1977, he won in 1980, he won in 1984. Until the day he died in 1987, he could not be defeated in an election.
From MGR's shadow rose another star, Jayalalithaa. Once MGR's co-star, later his political heir. Her journey wasn't easy. She faced humiliation, betrayal, patriarchy, but she fought it all and won. Jayalalithaa transformed from actress to Amma, the mother of the people. Her charisma, discipline and defiance made her one of the most formidable leaders in Indian politics.
Jayalalithaa was again no exception. She was groomed by MGR, she was brought into the party, she was made propaganda secretary, she was made Rajya Sabha MP, and it was after the death of MGR there was a tussle between Mr. MGR's widow, Janaki, and Ms. Jayalalithaa for control of the party. 1989, the AIADMK contested as two factions, the AIADMK JA for Janaki and J for Jayalalithaa, and the DMK came back to power because of the split. But Ms. Jayalalithaa conclusively established that the support of the masses lay with the AIADMK faction that she led. Subsequently, MGR's widow handed over the party to her faction to Ms. Jayalalithaa and withdrew from politics, and the rest is history.
She built a welfare state wrapped in personality cult, echoing MGR's legacy but owned entirely by her. In Tamil Nadu, politics wasn't about parties anymore. It was about icons.
If you recall the moments in the late 80s where she was humiliated in the assembly by the members of the DMK and the manner in which she fought back.
From an actress dismissed as outsider to the iron-willed chief minister who ruled Tamil Nadu for over a decade, her story proved that screen presence could translate into political permanence. While Tamil Nadu had its MGR, Andhra Pradesh found its god in Nandamuri Taraka Ramarao, NTR. On screen, he played divine roles: Krishna, Rama, Vishnu. Off screen, people saw him as one of them, yet above them. When he launched the Telugu Desam Party in 1982, NTR spoke of Telugu pride, self-respect and autonomy. Within 9 months, he became Chief Minister, a political debut unmatched in Indian history.
NTR's rise was far more meteoric as a politician, because NTR was hardly in politics for a few months before he became Chief Minister. And of course, that was precipitated by the incident at Hyderabad airport where Mr. Rajiv Gandhi, then the Prime Minister, was seen to have humiliated the former Andhra Chief Minister Anjaya, and that led to Telugu pride becoming the rallying call for Mr. N.T. Ramarao's Telugu Desam Party. So in fact, I always say that Mr. N.T. Ramarao is probably the only example of somebody who came into politics, and almost immediately shot to the Chief Minister's chair.
Decades later, Chiranjivee tried to follow the path. His political debut was dramatic, but short-lived. His brother, Pawan Kalyan, still fights on with the Janasena party, trying to blend stardom with substance. But NTR's shadow looms large, the first to prove that a camera-trained leader could capture real power.
Pawan Kalyan is now the Deputy Chief Minister, so you cannot fault with him. Yes, he has seen success, hasn't he? However, not the kind of raving success that a MGR or a NTR had. NTR again was a phenomenon in himself. He was loved so deeply by the people of the then united Andhra Pradesh, and his story itself is another kind of history to be written. However, Mr. Chiranjivee didn't really live up to the expectations of the people, or he really could not achieve much political success. I think at the end of the day, like I began, political success involves a lot of hard work, political hard work, not just superstardom. So.
The phenomenon, however, was fairly clear. In the South, cinema wasn't escapism. It was identity.
So from the outside, it looks like, all these people came from the movie world and became Chief Minister. But for every MGR or Jayalalithaa, there are 100 other stars or artists, most notably Mr. Sivaji Ganesan, who was one of the legendary actors in Tamil Nadu, in Tamil cinema, who could never make it big in politics.
நான் அரசியலுக்கு வருவது உறுதி.
superstar took the same road. Rajnikant, Thalaiva, the biggest name of them all, hovered at the political doorstep for decades. Adored, expected, but ultimately undone by time and health.
Look, with Mr. Rajnikant, it was a case of, the tiger is coming, the story that you heard. And then finally it became too late for the tiger to come and nobody really bothered whether the tiger would come or not. 1996, he had a great opportunity. He took a firm stand against at that point of time, extremely unpopular Jayalalithaa government. And he said, not even God can save the state if she comes back to power. At that point of time, had he jumped into politics, he could have made a huge impact.
Kamal Haasan entered late with intellect and reform, but found few takers among the masses.
Mr. Kamal Haasan, who never really sounded politically inclined or interested in politics, suddenly came out of nowhere and started his own political party, which perhaps did not have the kind of ideological basis that a political party requires to sustain. It cannot sustain on one person's, stardom.
In Tamil Nadu, politics demands emotion, not just eloquence. A screen god must become a street god.
Southern politics thrives on familiarity. The leader is someone you have already known for decades through cinema. The movie star remains a moral and emotional force that often becomes a party's face and sometimes a state's destiny. But north of the Vindhyas, the script unfolds differently. Hindi cinema has given us superstars who ruled hearts but not states.
North India's film industry, Bollywood, has always had the glamour, the reach and the charisma. But when it came to politics, the transition from screen idol to statesman rarely lasted long.
Like acting, politics requires its own set of skills and craft, and not everyone can be maybe naturally propelled to be good at everything.
When Amitabh Bachchan entered politics in 1984, it was nothing short of an earthquake. The superstar of the millennium contested from Allahabad on a Congress ticket and won with a record margin. Yet, 3 years later, he resigned, calling politics a cesspool. The Bofors scandal tainted reputations and his friendship with Rajiv Gandhi turned into a cautionary tale. The Big B returned to cinema, never to look back. Rajesh Khanna, the man who once caused traffic jams outside theatres, too entered politics with Congress in the early 1990s. He won a by-election against LK Advani's aide Lalu Kishan-chand, but his charm could not outlive the nostalgia. The voters wanted governance, not glamour. Vinod Khanna was different. Disciplined, grounded, pragmatic.
There's a relationship you already have with the public, right? They already want to listen to you.
He joined the BJP, won from Gurdaspur multiple times, and even served as a Minister of State for Culture and Tourism. Yet despite competence, his stardom faded quickly. Voters saw him as a professional politician, not a messiah.
For example, Mr. Vinod Khanna is from Punjab. He didn't act in Punjabi films. He acted in Hindi movies, which are made in Mumbai. So that land, region, language connect, I don't know, maybe did not happen. And hence, but however, he was a very successful MP. He was elected over and over again.
Dharmendra, once the he-man of Indian cinema, served a term in Parliament, often mocked for absenteeism. His wife, Hema Malini, remains an MP, but her politics is seen as ornamental. A continuation of celebrity, not conviction.
I mean, to define success as becoming a chief minister, Either you join a national party and work for 20 years and rise up the ranks, or you form your own outfit. So not too many North Indian stars or Bollywood stars have chosen to go down that route, whether it is Mr. Amitabh Bachchan or Mr. Vinod Khanna or Ms. Hema Malini. Hema Malini has had multiple terms as a parliamentarian. What more could be expected? So I think that it's the approach that they have taken or the route that they have taken which has meant that they have reached a certain stage, but they can't go further.
In North India, politics is party first, leader next. In the South, it's often the reverse. The personality defines the party.
The difference lies in context. In Tamil Nadu, cinema evolved with a social mission, aligned with Dravidian ideology. In the North, it remained pure entertainment, detached from regional or linguistic identity. In simple terms, in the South, cinema built movements. In the North, it built moments.
For Vijay, the Karur tragedy is not just a crisis, it's a crucible. His response in the coming months will define whether TVK becomes a true political force or a short-lived fan movement.
For example, after this whole Karur tragedy, I really wish he had been a little more forthcoming and spoken a bit more. He's just made one video and has not really met with the people or spoken yet. I think he needs to render his side of the story.
The BJP's moral backing hints at a potential alliance. The DMK sees an inexperienced rival who overreached.
If the DMK comes back to power, to what extent Vijay's movie career will be damaged is also a big question mark. They control the movie industry, is an open secret which everybody knows. So it's not just that he's fighting for his political life, he's also fighting for his movie life in many ways.
But ordinary citizens see something else. A man trying to bridge two worlds, stardom and service.
Politics in Tamil Nadu is not forgiving, but it is emotional. If Vijay can embody empathy and responsibility, this tragedy may not end his journey. It may begin it.
Tamil Nadu has always turned its film icons into political myths. And sometimes its myths into memories. Vijay's path is uncertain. His test just begun. But his story is part of something larger. The South's enduring belief that cinema and politics share a heartbeat.
There is a certain sense of language and region pride that these South Indian stars have, which perhaps the Hindi cinema stars don't.
I think Vijay is damaged. I don't think he's damaged beyond repair. I'm sure that if he plays his cards right, he can bounce back.
Here, at this moment, among this August gathering, I want to open my heart and say, I enjoy people. I respect people. I worship people.
From MGR to Jayalalithaa, from NTR to Vijay, the story continues. A story of heroes who stepped off the screen and into the real world. The commander now faces his most defining role, one that has no script, no retakes, and no background score.